this book, brothers and sisters, yeah, obviously topics are new. You are learning new things, and you are getting every time new topics are coming. So I need a lot of effort from you. If you will not put sufficient effort, then it will become difficult. Make sure every time the class is complete, you make sure that you become perfect in that. Okay, you have to revise a lot, brothers and sisters. You have to find time, revise a lot. So don't take these classes very lightly. Take it seriously. Try to revise, try to memorize, especially things in Sarf. Whatever needs to be memorized, try to memorize them and practice it. You have textbook. If you have printed, keep on reading it. Now chapter 1 is finished. Keep on reading it. And Alhamdulillah, now the quizzes are being prepared of chapter 1. Very soon these quizzes will be uploaded on the website for you to solve the quizzes. I request volunteers. Where are the volunteers? Seems volunteers are too busy these days. So I know, brothers and sisters, you have your own commitments, and it's not easy to find time, but I request you volunteers to come forward and please participate in making quizzes. Now the things are finished. Now the slides are finished. So try to make quizzes, whatever you can. Okay. And those students who would like to become volunteers, please write a message to my co-admin on the Telegram group. You can write to her. She's managing the volunteers. So please approach her if you would like to participate in making the quizzes and the assignments. So then you will be given access to the website to make questions. So you will be given privilege to make questions on the website, and you will be making quizzes, and then the co-admin will review them, and if they are okay, then it will be uploaded. So whoever would like to participate as a volunteer, they can send a message to the co-admin. Becoming a volunteer has an advantage, a lot of advantage. You will get, your concepts will be clear. It will force you to read. It will force you to look into the slides. And then, sometimes when you are making quizzes, a lot of questions are coming to your mind, and then you will start clarifying that. So there is a separate group on Telegram for volunteers. So once you approach to the co-admin, she will add you to that group. Okay. She will add you to that group. Okay. So now we are starting the concepts for chapter 2. You have learned about fi'l. You are learning about fi'l in Sarf class also. You have learned about fi'l in previous book also. And in the previous book, you have gone through a lot of practices of fi'l al-madi, conjugation of fi'l al-madi. So you know fi'l very well. Today, I'm going to mention 2 categories of fi'l. So fi'l is basically are into 2 categories. Okay. So there are 2 kinds of fi'l. Normally, fi'l is translated as verb in English language, but I would prefer to use Arabic word fi'l. So fi'l are 2 kinds. Okay. The first of which which you are familiar with is actually called fi'lun tammun. Okay. Fi'lun tam. Now this tam is a complete verb. So whatever you have learned, the fi'l that you have been practicing in the previous book and in the Sarf class, those are fi'l tam. Okay. Jalasa, kharaja, raja'a, all those things are nasara, zahaba, sa'ala. All these are fi'l tam. Okay. He said. And what is the beauty of this fi'l is just saying fi'l, this fi'l tam, it gives the complete meaning. For example, here, jalasa. Jalasa itself completes the meaning. He sat. There is nothing left, no confusion left, no ambiguity left. He sat. That is the reason in Jumla Fi'liya, a Jumla Fi'liya can be just fi'l itself. It can be just fi'l ta'am. Why? Because if I want to say, where is Muhammad? Where was Muhammad? So someone said, he sat, jalasa, or he left. So he'll say, someone will say, kharaja. So that means it is answering complete answer. So Muhammad left, kharaja. And jumla means a sentence that completes the meaning. Jumla means a sentence that completes the meaning. Phrase is murakkab and it doesn't complete the meaning. For example, mudaf mudaf ilayh. Okay, that's a phrase. It doesn't complete the meaning. Okay, pen of Muhammad, but again you will expect more. Pen of Muhammad is above the table. Book of Bilal is on the table. That becomes a jumla, right? So jumla completes the meaning. Fail tam, it completes the meaning. It has meaning in it. Okay, jalasa, he sat. Now there is another fail called fail naqisun. Fail naqis. Now this is an incomplete verb. You don't need to remember these words, these terms. Okay, fail tam, fail naqis. Just you can remember them as complete or incomplete verb. Now in this, the meaning is not complete. For example, there is a fail called Kana. There is a fail called Kana. Kana means he was. He was. What is he was? The meaning is not complete. He was. You will expect something. He was there, he was here, he was something like that. You know, you will expect more. So that is, such fail are called failun naqisun. Such fail is called failun naqisun. Clear, brothers and sisters? Okay. We will go into this. Yes, it will failun naqisun. It's incomplete, and we will talk about that today. So don't worry, Abdul Hussain. Don't. I know you are very eager to go forward, but go with me. Now let's talk about these verbs. Al-Af'aal Naqisa. Al-Af'aal is what? Jama of fi'l. Okay, Al-Af'aal is Jama of al-fi'l. Al-Af'aal means verbs. Naqisati. Why I said Al-Af'aal Naqisati? Why an-Naqisa? Why I'm putting ta marbuta here? Why I'm putting ta marbuta? Anyone can answer? No, actually, it is when I'm saying singular, I'm saying failun naqisi, failun naqisin. Yeah, because it is plural of ghair aqil. Al-af'al is ghair aqil. Fail is ghair aqil. Okay. So al-af'al naqisa. Now these, as I mentioned, fail naqisun are what? Incomplete verbs, incomplete af'al. They do not express full meaning. Now you have learned, okay, so these are also called Kana wa akhawatuha. These are also called Kana wa akhawatuha. Akhawatun means sisters. Ha, you are putting damir muttasil with that. So means its sisters, means Kana's sisters. So you can call it in English as Kana and her sisters. You can use this terminology from now onwards. Or you can just say Kana wa akhawatuha. Kana and her sisters, or you can just say Kana wa akhawatuha. Okay. Now, why it is called Kana akhawatuha? Because These are several verbs. It's not one. So Kana is one of them. So there are several such af'al. There are several such af'al, and they are called sisters of Kana because they behave same way. They have same trend. They act similarly. So that's why they are called akhawatuha, means sisters of Kana. And why it is named on Kana? Why not any other name? Because Kana is widely used. Kana is widely used. Kana is well known. It's very much used. That's why it is called Kana and her sisters. Okay. Now these af'al, they do not operate, they do not work like a normal fi'l. They do not work like ta'am. Like they have different behavior. They do not work exactly like ta'am. What happens? Kana and her sisters, they come in a sentence and they behave like inna wa akhawatu inna, but differently. Now, what is inna and wa akhawatu inna? You have learned inna and its other types of nasb, harfu nasb in the previous chapter. So those are called inna wa akhawatu inna. And what are those? Inna, anna, ka'anna, bi anna, li anna, lakinna, layta, la'alla. You remember that? I told you to memorize them. Okay. So what does it do? What inna does? What is the function of inna? What inna exactly does? When it comes in a sentence, what does it do? Yeah. And what, so let's say there is a sentence called Allahu Ghafurun Rahimun. It emphasizes that is true. It is used for ta'kid, that is true. And it makes mubtada, the original mubtada, mansoob. That is good. So if they have a jumla ismiya, Allahu Ghafurun Rahimun, what is the meaning of this? Allah is forgiving and merciful. Allah is forgiving and merciful. Now this is a sentence which have mubtada is Allah. Allah is mubtada, and it has two khabariya, Ghafurun, Rahimun. Now do not misunderstand. I explained that sometimes Allah's attributes, they are written in Quran without wa in between. Okay, they are not written separated by wa, and they are also not nat manud. So do not say that Ghafurun Rahimun are nat manud. Okay, so Allah is forgiving and merciful. Now if I want to emphasize this sentence, I will put inna before that. When I will put inna before that, what will happen? Yes, Sister Sana, you are right. Inna Allaha Ghafurun Rahimun. So you have done a lot of practices about such sentences in book 1, in chapter 1. Okay, in chapter 1, in the previous chapter, you have done a lot of such practices. So what inna is doing? Inna is what? Harfu nasab. Harfu nasab. What is the function of harfu nasab? It makes the ism that follows it, or rather the mubtada of the original sentence, it makes it mansoob. It makes it mansoob. That's why when inna comes before Allah, then this mubtada, which was Allah was mubtada, it will become Allah. It will not be inna Allahu, it will be inna Allah. That is what inna does. But the meaning changes. Now there is an emphasis in that. So what it means is, indeed, Allah is forgiving and merciful. So that's what inna, that's how inna works in a sentence. Now, what I wrote here in this slide is Kana wa akhawatuha. It works exactly opposite to that. Kana wa akhawatuha, it works exactly opposite to inna wa akhawatu inna. Now, what is akhawatu inna? I mentioned to you all those harfu nasab that you have learned in the previous concepts. All those are akhawatu inna. Okay. So it works exactly opposite to that. Now, inna makes mubtada mansoob. Kana doesn't makes it mansoob. Inna leaves the khabar as marfu. It doesn't touch his khabar. It doesn't affect khabar. It leaves it as marfu. Kana affects the khabar. So what it does, Kana makes mubtada, it leaves mubtada as marfu. Inna makes mubtada as mansoob. Kana leaves mubtada as marfu only, while it makes khabar as mansoob. It is working exactly opposite way. Is it clear, brothers and sisters? I hope it's not clear. Do you want me to repeat? It's clear. Okay. So how will you get Kana Allahu Ghafuran Rahiman? So what Kana has done exactly worked opposite to Inna. Inna would have made Allah as Allah, but Kana didn't do that. It left the original mubtada intact. So it left Allah as it is, Allahu. Instead of that, it worked on the khabar and it made khabar as mansoob. It took it into halatul rafa. So Kana Allahu Ghafuran Rahim. Sorry, halatul nasab, not halatul rafa. So it took khabar to halatul nasab. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of Kana? Kana means was. Kana means was. Means something about past. Something about past. And there is that means Kana is and I'm telling you, I'm talking about Af'aal Naqisa. I'm talking about fail. So Kana is a past tense fail. Kana is a past tense fail. Okay. And there is a present tense also of Kana, which is called yakunu, but that is not covered in this lesson because I'm just introducing Kana here. And inshallah, we will go into details about Kana and yakunu in the surf classes, inshallah. Okay. But since there are some words which belong to Kana family, means its sisters belong to sisters of Kana, which is coming in this chapter, chapter number 2. That is why I gave some introduction of Kana here. Okay. So inshallah, when you will go to surf class, it will become easy for you to understand Kana. So what is the meaning of this now? So here, the meaning was Allah is forgiving and merciful. So what will be the meaning of this sentence now with Kana? What will be the meaning of this sentence with Kana now? Yes. So as Sister Sana mentioned, Allah was Ghafoor and Rahim. Allah was Ghafoor and Rahim. And why? Allah is always Ghafoor and Allah is always Rahim. So maybe in the situation, in the circumstances, in the context, you can say Allah was Ghafoor and Rahim in that situation, in that context, in that period, whatever. So it can mean that also. Another way what you can understand this sentence is sometimes, like let's say there is some kind of an urgency of my friend, and my friend calls me and he says, Radwan, it's very urgent. Can you come now immediately? It's high emergency. Please rush to my house. I'm desperately in need of something. Please come. Come urgently to me, please. Suppose my friend says that. So looking at his stress, I will tell him on phone, don't worry, I'm there. Don't worry, I'm already there. Though I have not yet gone there, I have not yet moved out of my house, but I'm saying that I'm already present there in his house. I'm already there means I'm talking about something in past, right? I'm talking about something in past that I'm already present there. But what I mean by that is I'm coming. So we can understand this sentence from that context also, that Allah is in all the situations ever. Yes, Sister Urusha. It's in all the situations, He is forgiving and merciful. Okay, so this is Kana. Now, similar to inna wa akhawatu inna, what do you see when you have an inna sentence? For example, there was a sentence before we were talking about inna Allah ghafurun rahimun. So whenever there is inna, then the mubtada of the sentence becomes what? Ismu inna, right? The mubtada of the sentence becomes ismu inna. It is no more called mubtada, rather it is called ismu inna. And the khabar of the sentence is no more just called khabar, it is rather called khabaru inna. In the same way, la'alla, it is another sister of inna. So if there is a la'alla and there's an ism coming after that, for example, la'alla rajula muslimun. La'alla the man, hopefully the man is Muslim. So there also ar-rajula becomes ismu la'alla, and the khabar becomes khabaru la'alla. You remember, brothers and sisters? In the same way, in the Kana sentences also, there is ismu Kana and there is khabaru Kana. In the same way, we will call in the Kana sentences also ismu Kana and khabaru Kana. The only difference is ismu Kana is marfu. In the inna sentences, ismu inna is mansoob. Right? In the inna sentences, ismu inna is mansoob, but ismu Kana is marfu and khabaru Kana is mansoob. In the inna sentences, khabaru inna is marfu. Okay, it is marfu, but here khabaru Kana is mansoob. That's the only difference, right? Now let's talk about tam. You have done a lot of practices about jumla fi'liya, which contains fi'lu tam. Now in the fi'lu tam, for example, this example, jalasa ar-rajulu ala al-kursiyyi. Okay, the man sat over the chair. So what do we look whenever the sentence start with ta'am, with fi'l? What do we call this sentence? What do we call it? Whenever the sentence starts with fi'l, what do we call that sentence? Jumla fi'liya. Yes. And whenever we are talking about jumla fi'liya, we are looking for fi'l, fa'il, maf'ul, or mutalik bil fi'l. Now in this case, fi'l is jalasa, fa'il is ar-rajulu, and ala al-kursi is mutalik bil fi'l. Or also I can call this ala al-kursi, I can call it as maf'ul fihi. Maf'ul fihi fi mahalli nasbin. Is it clear, brothers and sisters? I can call this as mutalik bil fail or maf'ul fihi fi mahalli nasbin. Nasab. Is it clear or not? If you remember my previous lectures in book number 1. Okay. So this is how you deal with the normal fi'l. Now what about this kana thing, which is fi'l madi and it is naqis? What about the sentence containing kana? For example, kana rajulu musliman. Okay. The man was Muslim. Okay. The man was Muslim. What about this? What kind of sentence is this? It is starting with fi'l, kana. So what kind of sentence is this? MashaAllah. Jumla fi'liya. I can know from your answers who has attended the... Okay. Okay, fine. Yes, sister, brothers and sisters, it looks jumla fi'liya because it is starting with fail. But this naqis is so dumb because it doesn't express his feeling. He behaves very differently. Instead of making it jumla fi'liya, it makes it jumla ismiya. This is the exception with this fail, particularly only with fail naqis. The sentence is always ismiya. Okay, it is jumla ismiya. So kana rajulu musliman is actually jumla ismiya, and it has kept the original mubtada as marfu only and made the khabar as mansoob. So whenever you see the kana type of sentences, you will look for 3 things, which is what is the fi'l naqis. Here it is kana. The second thing that you will look for is ismu kana, which is a rajulu here. And the third thing which you will look for is khabaru kana. Okay, khabaru kana. And there can be mutalik bil khabar also, because the moment I'm talking about jumla ismiya, then khabar can be there and mutalik bil khabar can also be there. So this is exceptional, brothers and sisters. In naqis sentences are always jumla ismiya. Okay, they are jumla ismiya. And the fi'l naqis is part of mubtada. It is part of mubtada. So here, kana rajulu becomes mubtada container. Kana rajulu becomes mubtada container. A rajulu was the original mubtada. Now we will call kana rajulu as the mubtada container. Is it clear, brothers and sisters? I hope it's not difficult. Okay. Okay, I will give you the examples of mutalik bil khabar, my sisters. Inshallah, it's coming in the slides. Okay. Okay. Now, before I go into that, I'm going to do some practice with you about this fail. Sa'ala. Sa'ala means he asked. And can you tell me this belongs to which bab? Can anyone guess? How many bab have you learned? Now this is Sa'ala. This is the bab Fataha. Why it is Fataha, sisters? And is it Sulasi Mujarrad or Sulasi Mazid? Huruf al-Halaqiyah. Okay, which huruf halaqiyah is here? Hamza. So how do you identify if it belongs to Bab Fatah or not? How do you identify that? No, I mean huruf halaqiyah should come in at which place? What should be the place of huruf halaqiyah? And what are the huruf halaqiyah? Hamza, ha, ain, ha, ghain, kha. You can remember this. Ain and lam kalima. Good, mashallah. If ain and lam kalima comes one of the huruf halaqiyah, the huruf that are pronounced from halaq, from throat, they are called huruf al-halaqiyah, and they are how many? 6. Hamza, ha, ain, ha, ghain, kha. Ain, ha, ghain, kha. Okay, these are the things you can remember. Sa'ala. So what is the mudare? What is expected? Fataha, yaftahu. So sa'ala, what should be? Yas'alu. Good, mashallah. This is how you will know. Okay, so let's do the conjugation of sa'ala. Sa'ala, sa'ala, sa'alu, sa'alat, sa'alata, sa'alna, sa'alta, sa'altuma, sa'altum, sa'alti, sa'altuma, sa'altunna, sa'altu, sa'alna. Here in this fi'l al-madi, you must have noticed only 2 of them do not have suffixes. The huwa version, sa'ala, doesn't have any suffix, any letter added after the fi'l. And the hiya version, there is no suffix. This suffix that you see ta here is not actually, it is only indicating the feminine gender. It's called ta'u ta'anis. Okay, it's indicating the feminine gender. Now rest of the conjugation, you see there are some characters added, and these indicate what? File. These indicates file. So if I say sa'ala and there is a file indicated by alif, so immediately I know that it is talking about 2 persons masculine. Okay, sa'alu, this waw indicates file, the doer. File is the doer. Okay, sa'alata, again this alif indicates the file, which is referring to 2, and this ta indicates the feminine gender. So ta and alif combination indicates the file. Sa'alta, again this indicates the file. It's referring to the you, second person. Okay, so this is how in the conjugation of fi'l al-madi, the file is part of fail. File is part of fail, except for 2 fail, which is huwa and hiya. The huwa and hiya, they do not indicate file here. So we call these 2 fail, saying we will say file mustatir. So when the sentences come in such huwa and hiya version, and if there is a ism coming after the fail and it is marfu, then we say that it is an external file. So it is file which is present in the sentence, and sometimes it is present, sometimes it is not present. Okay, you know this. Let's do the present tense version of this. Yas'alu. So yas'alu. Okay, anyone would like to do that? He or she can flag their hands. I can ask them to do if you want to do the practice. Otherwise, I will proceed with you. Sister Zakia, mashallah, you are very good in conjugation, Sister Zakia. Last time also you did very well. I want to give chance to some other sister. Okay, Sister Arushia, I will give you her. I want to justify with everyone. So I'm opening the mic of Sister Arushia. Okay, your mic is open, sister. You can do.
Yas'alu, yas'alani, yas'aluna.
Yasalani, yasaluna, good.
Tas'alu,
Tasalu, good.
tas'alani,
Tasalani,
yas'alna.
yasalna, mashallah. See, things change from here, from hunna. Things change in most of the cases. You must have noticed, brothers and sisters. From hunna, things change. Okay. What about next, sister?
Tas'alu,
Tasalu,
tas'alani,
tasalani,
tas'aluna.
tasaluna, good. So this is the exceptional thing only in fi'l mudari that you need to remember.
Tas'alina.
Tasalina, good. This is tasalina, okay?
Tas'alina, tas'alani,
Tasalani,
tas'alna.
tasalna, good. What about Ana?
As'alu,
As'alu, good.
alu.
Nas'alu, good, mashallah. So, well done, Sister Urushia. And inshallah, we will talk about more about Kana and its sisters tomorrow. Okay. And again, here, I would like to say about Mudari. In Mudari, you see, there are prefixes and suffixes. So there are some characters added in the beginning. For example, ya, ya. Here it is ya, it is ta, it is ta. So it is, there are some prefixes and there are suffixes. For example, here it is ani, here it is una, here it is. So there are some prefixes and suffixes. Now these, the combination of that indicates the file. That indicates the file. But again, here also, yas'alu and tas'alu, the huwa version and the hiya version, again, that is mustatir. Again, that is mustatir. So the moment you say tas'alina, tas'alina, so you know for sure that here the file is anti. The file is anti. Okay? Clear, brothers and sisters? So this is necessary for you to know. It's another revision of fail. Inshallah, tomorrow we will continue with fail naqis again. Okay, the remaining part of fail naqis. And see you tomorrow, same time. And do practice, do the revision again. And again, before leaving, I would like to remind whoever would like to participate in as a volunteer to prepare quizzes and assignments. You'll be given access to the website. Admin privilege will be given to you on the website, and you will be able to prepare questions on the website, and then it will be, those questions will be available for all the other students to solve, inshallah. Okay. So you can approach my co-admin and she will properly organize it with you. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.